What brands should take away from today is the power of treating content not like a campaign, but behaving more like a publisher. And I think that brands, in order to succeed, need to behave more like publishers in today's environment and less like marketers, and really invest in the process of building out great, authentic content and, finding means of doing so by learning from the best of what's out there in publishing.
This has been a great event, and I have learned tremendously from just being exposed to the people here, not only the speakers, but the participants. And if there's one thing that I am taking away from it, and I hope people will take away from it, is how important it is for the people in the creative aspects of our profession to get together with the technical people and not see it as isolated islands, which is what happens. We should not be afraid of the technology, and the technology people should not be afraid of the creative people. And I think that bringing these two things together, that junction of technology and creativity, is where the action is going to be.
The one thing I would like people to get out of this event is start collaborating and then stop blaming. We've gone into a culture of design versus tech versus business, and it's not healthy for anybody, and it will not move the industry forward. I mean, things are going to be very, very difficult over the next 3 to 5 years for the publishing industry. Whether you're in a small organization or a large organization, I don't think anything is actually going to be really easy. But starting to actually have conversations from all sides, with all sides, I think that's probably one of the most important things that I think people should get out of this.
I think the thing for people to take away from an event about publishing in particular is the notion of how much internal culture can really be one of the challenges that a brand faces. Publishing is very deeply rooted in workflows and ways of doing things that are deeply embedded, and it can be a real risk to figure out new ways of doing things for new spaces and new media. But actually the potential benefit of investing in that risk is fantastically huge.
If there's one thing that I would want people to take away from the event, it would be the fact that you really always have to be considering the end user. I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in, okay, well, how do we transition this magazine to the iPad or to a mobile device, that we forget, humans use these things. And I think that we always have to remember the human behind the story, the human behind the reading of the actual story itself as well. So always remembering the user, which seems like a very easy thing to remember, but it's actually incredibly difficult when you're getting into the nitty-gritty of how other things work. Just focusing on people all the way through the process, I think, is the most important key.
I think one key takeaway from today would be to maintain, stay true to the core of your brand. I think a lot of brands are out there trying to do a multitude of things across a multitude of platforms, and in a lot of ways sort of getting lost in who the true ethos is of their brand. And I think in order to stay focused and maintain a true connection with your consumer, you need to be honest with yourself about who your brand is, and make sure that you're promoting your content across these channels appropriately and seamlessly so that the consumer experience is connected.
In terms of what I hope people have been able to take away from this event, for us this has been a fantastic opportunity. In fact, New York doesn't have its own street paper at the moment, but it's actually the birthplace of the street paper movement. So it's really, really interesting and really fabulous for INSP to be involved in this event. And what I'm hoping is that I've been able to give people a sense of the street paper concept and the importance of that, and the importance of its place moving forward, because we know that it's a fantastically successful concept when it works. We support thousands of homeless street vendors on the street at any one time, and over the course of the past 20 years we've been able to support over 250,000 people. So I would like to think that I've been able to share with people the importance and the effectiveness of that method, and given them some ideas of how to keep this going into the future.
I'm very excited about the collaboration and the sort of collective thinking around publishing at this time, and the sort of digital climate that's changing, such that we can sort of bounce ideas off of one another and sort of move the ball forward.
For me, the key takeaway from today is how exciting it is when people who know a lot about publishing get together and share their experience from the different corners of the industry that they work in. I think when you get face to face with people who are working on slightly different aspects of the business than you, and you share your experiences and ideas and hopes for the future, I think that's when really amazing things begin to happen. And I wish events like this happened much more often and gave people the opportunity to do that with a bit more regularity. And I think we should go beyond publishing with this as well. I think it's important to get face to face with your contemporaries in other industries and technology companies and work out ways to build bridges and make interesting things happen.
So today is just the beginning of our adventure in publishing, and if you'd like to join in, please go to brandperfect.org, join, contribute and comment.